Hello guys and welcome to A.F.C. Curtis. I'm your host Curtis, and today I'm super excited to be giving you my draft recap from the very first ever Canadian Premier League draft. I'll be telling you just the results for each and every club, as well as telling you who I believe won the very first ever Canadian Premier League draft based on their selections. And so if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you want to see more content just like this, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button. And of course, beside there's a little bell. If you click that, you actually get notified each and every week when I drop a brand new episode just like this one. So let's get started. So now we start with the club that had the very first overall pick in the very first overall Canadian Premier League draft, Cavalry FC. Now with that first overall pick, they selected forward from Carleton University, Gabriel Bitar. And this guy, man, is a goal scoring machine. He knows how to put the ball back in the back of the net without any doubt. He's got 16 goals last year when he won the Rookie of the Year, and then this past season that just wrapped up, he scored 13 goals in the regular season and then added 2 goals in the national championship. So this guy knows how to get those bangers. And of course, their next pick came at 14 overall when they selected midfielder Joel Waterman from the Trinity Westman U, and this guy has played in the past with Tommy Weldon Jr., actually with the Calgary Foothills FC. And so this guy can actually play a good midfield role, but I believe he also played defensively as well in the back for Tommy Weldon Jr. at Calgary Foothills. And then their next pick came at the top of the third round when they selected 15th overall, Easton Ongaro, who is a forward from University of Alberta, who again, just like Bitar, knows how to put those balls in the back of the net and plays a good number 9 or false 9 role for any club that he's played for in the past. Now the second overall pick belongs to Cavalry FC, and they used that pick really wisely, I thought, when they selected midfielder Dylan Carrero from York University. And this is a guy actually Rob Gill has a history with, as he is from Winnipeg, Dylan is, and he also played with Rob Gill's U Canada under-20 squad, and I was actually the captain of that squad. So he already has some familiarity with Rob Gill, which is great for Cavalry FC and this Dylan Carrero, who could potentially be on the starting 11 for them come spring of 2019. Their next selection came at 13th overall when they picked up Lewis White, and this guy is a defender from Cape Breton, and he's actually a Scottish defender, but a really solid defender, really good defensively. Doesn't maybe make the flashiest plays, but is good, sound defensively, and hard-nosed defender, which is what you want in that backfield, at least in the Canadian Premier League. That's what a lot of people have been talking about getting. And the next selection for them came at 16 overall when they picked Jack Simpson, a midfielder from also Cape Breton. Again, a really good pickup here by Rob Gale. I think, you know, a guy like Jack Simpson, a guy who could play multiple positions, I think, in that midfield role, and will definitely give him options in the middle of the park. And I think a solid, good core of 3 players that Cavalry FC selected. The next club up here is Forge FC with the 3rd overall selection when they selected Jace Kostopoulos, the 2018 U Sports Player of the Year. And this guy is a striking forward and is, you know, fantastic in the box, fantastic outside the box. This guy, as well as the Bitar there, is a goal scoring machine, loves to score goals. And I think the fans in Hamilton will absolutely love to watch Jace play for their club. The next selection they had there was at 12 overall when they selected Abubakar Sissoko, who is actually a midfielder, defensive midfielder with University of Montreal there. And he's a guy that actually really jumped on Bobby Smirnis's radar at the National Championship with his great defensive play in the back half of the park. And then after that, the next selection at 17 is Mark Mandzukic, and of course is a fantastic pickup here as well, midfielder from University of Toronto for Forge FC, you know, kind of that local player in that local market, kind of, you know, a little bit down the road maybe, but, you know, a good pickup and one that I think that can develop into a really solid midfielder for Forge FC. The next club up here is York 9 Football Club with the 4th overall selection, and they selected York University defender Daniel Gogarty. And now he's somebody that I think Jim Brennan really hopes can step up into the lineup as early as the 2019 season and help out with York Football Club's back 4. Their next selection came in the second round at 11 when they picked Emmanuel Zambezi a midfielder from York University. And this guy is more one for the future. He is a bit younger, does still have eligibility in school, so definitely look for him to kind of come in, play a few games maybe next year, and then go back to school. But in the long run, he's someone that they're looking to build for the future. Their next selection in the 3rd round came when they selected Daniel Pritchard, defender from Cape Breton. And again, this is another guy that is possibly still maybe a year or two away, but could make that good impact pretty soon with York 9. The next club up here on deck is the Halifax Wanderers with the 5th overall pick. And with that 5th overall pick, Stephen Hart selects the Cape Breton defender, Peter Schall, who's actually a German international coming over. Now, this guy is a really good all-round center back who can lead that back four to victory. And Stephen Hart is really high on him, and that's why he selected him with that 1st round selection. Their next selection in the 2nd round, he went back defensively by picking up Andre Bona, which again just adds more depth to their defense that they're building. And of course, to continue his approach to building the club, which he wants it from that out, he has actually selected the club's first goalkeeper in Christian Oxner from St. Mary's University with that 3rd round selection. He's actually also a Halifax local, and he's someone that Stephen Hart really believes with his hard work can make the club and make a difference in the future. Pacific FC is up at number 6, and they actually went on to pick a trio of University of British Columbia players with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round selections. Starting with midfielder Tommy Gardner with that 6th overall pick in the 1st round. He's a midfielder that's a really good attacking midfielder that everybody at Pacific FC is really high on and believes is actually one of the better players, if not the best player in the draft. They also went on next in the 2nd round to pick forward Zach Verhoeven. He is somebody, of course, that played with Gardner, and he's somebody that they believe can score goals and play wide out, but also come in to cut in the middle and is able to score goals inside and then maybe even outside the box as well in the future. And then their next selection with the 3rd round selection at 20th overall, they picked midfielder Nick Fossil, again from the University of British Columbia. And of course, Nick Fossil is a player that they feel can play multiple positions in that midfield role and is someone that could really hold that midfield together in the future. And with the final selection, we have FC Edmonton, and they have the 7th overall pick, the 8th overall pick, which is the 1st pick of the 2nd round because of the sync draft. Whoever picks last in every odd round picks first in every even. And of course, they own the final pick of the draft at 21st overall. Now with the 7th overall pick, they pick University of Alberta goalkeeper Connor James, who I believe is the best goalkeeper in this year's draft. He owns the record for most matches played, most wins, and most clean sheets. And on top of that is even an All-Canadian. The next selection at 8th overall is Ajij Zakaria, who this guy is a record breaker. He's actually got 37 goals and 25 assists in 42 matches. I mean, this guy falling to 8th overall, that's crazy pickup for FC Edmonton. The next selection at 21st overall is Noah Cunningham, defender of University Alberta. And this guy, Jeff Pullis, is really high on as well, believes he's going to be a great leader in the long run and is somebody that will organize the back four and keep it organized all match long. So a person like that is definitely someone you need in your back four to be successful. So that was my draft recap video, and I think every team did really well drafting, but there's only one team I think won the draft, and I would have to say that the team I think edged out everybody else was FC Edmonton. I really like their 3 selections, with the 7th overall pick Connor James, best goalkeeper in the draft, with the number 8 selection Ajij Zakaria, who I think is a sleeper pick a bit. The guy got 37 goals in 42 matches. That's really good. And then we got Noah Cunningham at number 21. That fell right in their lap there. Great pickup for them. I think overall, FC Edmonton's haul of players that they got here were probably one of the best, if not the best, and that's why they're my pick for the club that won the draft. But I want to hear from you guys who you think won the draft. Let me know in the comment section below. Was it FC Edmonton or was it another club? Let me know. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more content just like this, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button and that notification bell to get notified each and every week when I drop a brand new episode. which you might want to hit that now, because my next episode next week will actually be an interview episode, and I'll be interviewing the one, the only Mr. Zach Drake. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Until next week, thank you for watching.